So, every single expert I see at this point giving mock drafts. Now, again, keep in mind, I'm only looking at the experts, Mel Kiper, Daniel Jeremiah, all the, NFL experts or scouting experts, mock draft, whatever. They all have a range of different linemen they have us taking. Number one is J.C. Latham. This is a guy I've been talking about many times in my videos. I've been really, hyping him up, and I absolutely love him for that said reason. The second guy is Mims. Fuga is another guy that has been talked about plenty of times for us. It's pretty much one of those three guys. Now, if it's not, we somehow, someway get Brock Bowers and the whole entire world explodes because we just got ourselves the best tight end prospect since, Tony Gonzalez. Maybe not that crazy. But anyway, it's one of those three offensive linemen. So when I saw Mel Kiper say, have a mock draft, I figured, you know what, it's probably one of those three. And it is. And it's J.C. Latham. And as I'm learning more and more about this right tackle from Alabama, I really cannot find myself getting away from this pick. And again, listen, the Bengals are going to pick whoever the best available player is, right? Just how they work. But as Mel Kiper says right here, he can maul defenders in the run game, but also light on his feet as a pass protector. With Jonah Williams headed to free agency, Latham could slot in on the right side and be an instant starter. I could see the Bengals look toward a defensive tackle class with Newton from Illinois and Sweat if they are still available. And that, again, is another thing about the Bengals, is they're going to go best player available. So it's very possible if these other guys are available that they could go with those other guys. Or, again, Brock Bowers. We talked about Kool-Aid McKinley. I butchered his last name. I heard someone say it correctly. That's another guy that could potentially, again, be in that spot where if he's available, we go ahead and take him. I really hope we take. If there's no Brock Bowers, right? Because if there's Brock Bowers, I'm going to find myself so difficult not to be like when I create my mock draft, I'm going to start my draft board for this draft. And again, I won't be creating that till the end of March, April time. I'm going to 1000% have Brock Bowers all the way at number one. He has to be. Like, it was like last year with Bijan Robinson. He has to be number one. But my number two is going to be J.C. Latham. And again, we never know how these drafts go. At the end of the day, last year, we thought Donnell Wright was going to be available in the late when we picked or second round. He went number 11 to the Bears. So it's possible that, we don't see these guys available later on when we pick. And again, it's also possible, like last year when we thought Michael Mayer was going to go top 20, he went in the second round, middle second round. We thought Sam Laporta would be a first round pick. He was a middle second round pick. So you never know how these drafts go, and if certain players go up and down draft boards. Everyone has their own draft boards. But it's going to be just like last year, where when we took Myles Murphy, which I do love Myles Murphy, I have a signed jersey of him right on my wall over here. Because I am a huge fan of Myles Murphy. Great player from Clemson, has a lot of potential, and I think in his second year he can really take off. He had a really good rookie season. Now he can have a fantastic sophomore season and junior season. Nonetheless, though, my opinion with how disappointed and upset I was, if you watch my draft videos, you can see when we didn't take Sam Laporta or take Michael Mayer. And, even watching my draft videos, I was like so ecstatic. Thinking that, no one took Michael Mayer. No one took Sam Laporta. This is our time. This is our pick. We are making this pick. And then we took Myles Murphy. And it definitely, rubbed me a different way, right? That's going to be how this is if we don't take J.C. Latham. J.C. Latham or Mims, or if we don't take Fuga, or if we don't get Brock Bowers. I feel like it's going to give me that, you guys will see it in the draft when the draft happens. It's gonna give me that like, okay, like what are we doing? Because listen, I am all about the idea of trusting the process. I believe in Zach Taylor. I believe in Duke Tobin. I believe in Katie Blackburn. I believe they know what they're doing to the highest level possible, and I have full trust in all of them to make the correct decisions, what's best for this team. But it is always an interesting scenario. Just like right now, when we look at the fact that the Lions are in the championship, and the guy that we could have had, Sam Laporta, was a top 7 player for them, or top 7 tight end in receiving yards. And it sucks to look at those things and see how good these players that we could have taken, are doing, and then we think, well, we got this guy. And again, Miles Murphy next season could be a sack leader and be, right up there with TJ Watt. We never know, right? He could blossom in the second year. But it's definitely one of those things where it's got to trust the process. So I hope we figure this out. I think what's going to happen, though, to Mel Kipers' point, if we bring back Jonah, right, that will open up Pandora's box. Because I feel like if we bring back Jonah Williams, depending on the contract, I feel like there will be some understanding on his part that he's going to think that he's the starter, right? I don't think he's going to come back if he's a backup. Now, it's very possible he does, but I'm saying initially. It's very possible he comes back as a backup if no one else signs him. So what could happen is we say, hey, listen, we're going to draft a guy in the first round. You're going to be a backup. And he says, no way in heck, I'm not going to do that. And we say, okay, well, have a great day. He leaves us, goes into free agency, sees what's available, doesn't like what's available because, free agency for him might not be that good. And then he comes back and says, yeah, I'll be a backup. Right? I think that's kind of how it's going to work, depending on who we get, again. But it'll be interesting because everything's going to get figured out March 12th or 13th, I think, free agency. Everything will get figured out then. Because if we do not bring back Jonah, then there's all craps are off. We're drafting a tackle in some way. We have to. And I don't know who that is going to be. Again, whoever is available. Or Brock Bowers. And again, we could also go corner and we could also go other positions. It's just, I don't know. We need to protect Joe. And I think that's really what this comes down to. And I think it's very clear across the board for every single coach in the Bengals organization that understands that at this point. So, I do agree with Mel Kiper. I also agree with Mel Kiper, which I usually don't say this, but I agree that they could go elsewhere depending on who's available, though. So, don't be surprised if we think J.C. Latham's the guy and it ends up being somebody else. But I'll see you guys next one. Peace.